Coming back after an amazing trip abroad has been tough, and transitioning into fall for my creative business has kind of been hard. If you're feeling that too, you're not alone. I was so inspired from this trip and have been channeling that energy into this season. Challenging my creativity with my sketchbook and letting myself be bad at art actually led to some surprising breakthroughs. So today, I thought I'd share some of these reflections, how I'm realigning for fall, and give you a tour of my art journal. So grab your favorite cozy beverage and let's chat.
Whew, re-entry is hard. I have been back from my trip for 3 days, and I'm just still, reeling from the trip and feeling like it's a dream already, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the US right now, and I've been just like, take me back abroad. Stay off the internet. It was just so nice being away and not having to worry about all of this stuff, as someone who cares, as someone who cares about marginalized groups, the outdoors, creativity, small business owners, women, LGBTQ community, what's going on with our immigrant community, like all of that stuff. It's just been really tough to come back and just be inundated with headlines and all of that stuff. But it's like a balance of being informed and aware of what's going on while also protecting our own energy and mental health. And it's challenging, So if you've been feeling like, I don't even know how to describe it, you're not alone. We still have businesses to run. We still have lives to live. And if we take care of our own energy and our own mental health, then what we can put out there and the impact we can make, that's how we're resisting, and that's how we can keep this light alive and keep shining our light, you know what I mean? So not to come into this vlog all heavy, but that's just like the reality of what's going on right now. But it also really fuels me with my business and my mission in helping women, helping creatives through using my business as a platform. Through my coaching and mentorship, I'm supporting other women and being able to help them build something that feels aligned and impactful. So yeah, I wasn't planning to film and just to give myself a break, but it also just feels like the perfect time for a big refresh. Getting back from Europe, my own personal life feels really great. Like, I'm so in love with my studio, my town, the weather is changing, it's getting cooler, the colors are starting to change, which is really exciting. And I'm just grateful for the life I get to live because of this business that I've been able to build, and you're a big part of that. So thank you for supporting me and for being here, for watching the videos, for all of your comments and everyone who responds to the newsletters. I'm so glad you've been loving that, for those in the Discord community and being engaged in there. And I just want to build more things that can help us connect and to really be a community and support each other, because I think it is just so important, and that's how we keep going. But I need to clean up my studio and just kind of get it ready for the season ahead. And I want to give you a sketchbook tour of all of the things in my art journal from the trip. But welcome back to the studio. Let's get all of this cleaned up and then we'll chat.
I am so excited. I have some new merch items that I'm finally ready to put in the shop. They've been a long time in the works, and some really fun collaborations, and I brought some with me at Creative Camp and on the trip. But I have these two new hats. They're the surf style hats, so the material is this really nice lightweight quick dry material. And then I worked with my friend who's an artist to bring to life these custom patches. So I'm very excited for these. I have two colors, clay and mineral. And then my new bandanas. This is also an artist collaboration. What do you think? Oops, upside down. But what do you think? It's part of this Made Wild Stay Wild collection. And I just love the details. I brought this with me to Europe in Lake Bled, so I was able to wear it as a little kerchief, but it's also just like a really lovely premium cotton bandana. These are going to be in the shop soon, and maybe even by the time this video is live, these will be available in the shop. I'm very, very excited for them. Much better. I feel like I was on summer mode in the studio where I didn't have my table out because I wasn't packaging orders or winding a lot of yarn, but now I'm getting into the busy part of beanie season, so I'm gonna need my table out. So there's a little less floor space in the studio, but it feels set up and ready to go. Okay, but I want to show you some of the yarns I got when I was traveling in Budapest. I got some really beautiful yarns, stuff that I don't think I've ever seen before, at least here in the US. And I don't have a local yarn store here. The closest yarn stores are probably 3 hours away from me. So it was fun to get to just go and touch the yarn and see them. But I got this really beautiful variegated yarn. This, I was like, I've been wanting to make like a little scarf or kerchief for myself. And it's like a cool kind of, I don't know, chain construction on the yarn. Hard to explain, but it's very soft and it'll be really fun to work with, I think. And then I got this really big ball of this Lana Grosso. I'm envisioning making myself a sweater with this. I have so many patterns in my Ravelry library. If you're not a knitter, Ravelry is basically like a big pattern database where people can sell their patterns. I sell all of my patterns on Ravelry and my website, and I just have a lot of them in my library that I've been meaning to make but haven't found the right yarn or the time to do it. So this just feels really beautiful, and so my colors. And then I got this beautiful one. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but it was too beautiful not to get. And it's kind of also that chain construction. And let's see, this one is merino, silk, and cashmere. So this was kind of an expensive skein, but you know, I had to get it. And then on the plane, I didn't do much knitting while we were traveling. I was focusing more on the art journal, but on the plane, I had a lot of time watching movies, and I finally made all of these. I think I ended up making 12 of them. I've had these patterns in the works for maybe 2 years now, but I just have had too much going on to write them up. But I have mini versions, basically, of my most popular patterns. This is the Winterfell. So these are the ornaments. This is the Made Wild, Stay Wild design. The Noku design. And then the Twister Cane. So I made a bunch of mini versions. I'm going to make more. But I'm hoping to sell them as little mini ornaments during the holidays and hopefully get the pattern out soon. So if you're a knitter and you're interested in testing, make sure you're in the Discord community because that's where I do the tester calls too. And if you're not a knitter and are just a creative that wants to find some community, we do craft and hangs in the Discord. There's always like questions and answers. I hang out there a lot and just, you know, am there to support if you need it or just to find new friends to share your adventures and makes and all that stuff. So it's a really nice cozy space. Feeling so good to be back and excited for what's to come. Well, it's been about a week. What is time? I totally meant to come update you about the sketchbook and all the things coming up, but we left for Denver to go celebrate our anniversary. It was our 9-year wedding anniversary. We've been together for 16 years, so it was just nice to have a little getaway, but we went to see the Pacific Nations Cup rugby tournament in Denver, which was super fun.
And then just kind of bopped around. Rob and I just really love to go find really delicious food. So found a couple of really tasty places. We went thrifting a little bit, and then we had tickets for a Red Rock show. And we went to see Sturgill Simpson, which was super fun. I haven't been to Red Rocks in years, so it was awesome. It ended up pouring rain, and there was a lightning delay, but it was so fun because looking around, it was just like everyone's just hunkering down, having a good time, dancing, and I don't know, it was that feeling of like, wow, humans are so funny. Like, this is like the bright spot of humanity where it's pouring rain, there's lightning, there's a concert, and everyone's just smiling, having a good time, looking at their neighbors, laughing at the situation, and just enjoying ourselves and wiggling to music, you know what I mean? So it was a nice reminder that there is so much good in the world, that there are so many people who are here fighting for love and equity and justice and all of that stuff. And obviously I've just been running around, so when I got back I was just feeling so run down. I'm still feeling a little bit run down, but it was nice to just be lazy on the couch, catch up on vlogs. Anyway, I'm back in the studio. Today is the last farmer's market, so I want to go down there and get a couple things. And then I'm launching the Made Wild Stay Wild hats and bandanas. So I still need to go take a couple of photos of the bandana. So let's do that. And then I will show you my art journal and talk a little bit about what's going to happen this week, because a lot's about to change. So beautiful right now. It's kind of warmer than I thought, but the colors are starting to change. Feels good to be home. Take me to the jungle. Teach me on the edge of this bridge. I'm like, is this a bad idea? Read to me a poem. Sing to you a song. Well, got the photos I needed, I think. I probably need a couple more of me holding the bandana. But it was too precarious on that bridge, and I didn't want you to fall over and break the camera, because if you didn't remember the camera fiasco from last summer, my other camera got bumped off the log and fell down a cliff, so didn't want that to happen to you. You could call it a vision or tether. What a day. I ended up being out and about longer than I thought, and I thought I'd finally share my art journal with you. I still haven't done my entries from Budapest, but since I got home, I've just been running around still, so I feel a little bit like this weekend is my first weekend where I really get to just relax and chill. I have no plans. Rob's out of town. A lot of my friends are out of town too, and I don't know, I was like, I feel like I just want to hermit and do my thing and prepare for next week, because next week there's going to be so much that's changing. Obviously the seasons are starting to change, so I'm really feeling that too.
But yeah, I'm just feeling a little bit run down, to be honest. And of course, I meant to just take it really easy today, and I still went out and about and did a bunch of stuff. And I think that's one of the hard things, right? It's transitioning out of this like high chaotic energy and actually turning inward a little bit and slowing down. I actually spent some time yesterday finishing up the fall rewilding trail map, so that will be available probably by the time this video is out. It'll be available to download, so there's a link below to download the fall rewilding trail map. But let's look at the art journal. So if you're new here, I do not consider myself an artist. I am a knitter, a maker, a crafter, an outdoors adventurer, but I've never considered myself good at drawing. So when I went on my recent trip to England, Slovenia, and Budapest, I challenged myself to do an art journal to document my experience and to really just stretch my creativity. I also have a new branch of my business where I'm doing coaching and mentorship for other creative business owners to align their business with the life they want to live and to just live more creatively and prioritize living while running a successful business. So that's what I do. And so doing this art journal was just so good for my own creativity and doing something outside of my normal comfort zone. So this is my first page. And this was just really showing our trip from Colorado to London. And so for this trip, my girlfriends and I were going to England to watch the Women's Rugby World Cup. And so we wanted to cheer on Team USA, but we also felt like there's just so much shit going on right now in the US that we wanted to also be really positive representatives of the US. And so we bought these really fun heart pins that had half the American flag and half the pride flag. And that was important for us to show, especially with rugby being a really inclusive sport, really just showing like you can be feminine and be powerful and strong. You can be really badass and put lipstick on if you want to. We got to meet Alona Mar, which was really incredible. But anyway, this was my page one. It was really me getting the feel of the drawing and using the markers and, I don't know, just figuring out my style. And I did feel like I improved throughout the trip. And then on the next page, I didn't really know the direction I was going in at first. We went to tea with my brother-in-law's aunt and mother. So this is the tea place we went to. We went to see Hamilton, which was amazing. And then this was just my sketch of the borough market. And it was one of those things where I just didn't really feel confident in my drawing, and so I started to take reference photos, and that was what the borough market photo was. And I've started to figure out for my own style that I really liked this like sketch look, this unpolished like sketchy look, and so I started doing it that way. And here, I feel like I got a little bit more confident with how I wanted my drawings to look. Obviously, they're still very unpolished, but here is King's Cross Station, and then one of the really cute timber, what do they call it? Did I write it down? And then, of course, the rugby games, which was so much fun. And then I think I actually started to get the hang of it more. I was challenging myself also through my photography to look at things a little bit differently, to try to find a different perspective, and then to also use it for reference photos of things I wanted to capture in the art journal. And this was just little snippets like our cow print shorts and my cowbell, the stands and the view of them, my fish and chips at this really cute old pub, this church with these beautiful fuchsias, and then this old kind of inn that we ate our Sunday roast dinner at, and that was really fun. So yeah, I don't know, I guess I just started feeling a little bit more confident with how I wanted to capture everything. And here's kind of where I really started getting in with more detail. I'm actually so proud of how I did the stained glass, and this was from a perspective shot that I took of the Minster in York, where the stained glass windows just look like they're arching and stretching up, so that's the perspective that I sketched it in. And we also went to the Shambles, which is this really cool street that it's what Diagon Alley is modeled after. I really disagree with J.K. Rowling, and she has said and done horrible things, but it was cool to go to the Shambles. And then there was just ivy everywhere, and I loved the ivy and brick contrast. So for this one, I just got a little more creative with how I framed my words, and I felt really proud of that. So, Paddington, that was my horrible one. I figured out that I just don't really like drawing faces, I don't think. I like sketching scenes and nature. And I think this one is where I got a little bit ahead of myself. I did not like how I ended up doing the color of the sky.
Kind of messed up this one, but it's okay. I'm gonna keep it in.
There's just a lot going on, and I think with markers it just wasn't getting that, like, it was too dark and too saturated. But this was just a little snapshot of Ljubljana and the scene with the castle on the hill, with the town beneath it and the river running through it. I kind of learned how to mix the colors a little bit because the markers that I have are watercolor markers, so that was cool. And then Ljubljana is famous for this pink church, so I drew that, and then this dragon statue which represents the city. And we went to this farmer's market and there was just fresh flowers and strawberries, and actually this was one of my favorite photos that I took of the entire trip. It was this old woman selling flowers from her little cart, and an old man buying these flowers from her. And it was one of those images where I was like, this is such a great reminder that there are still good people in the world. There is joy, there is beauty, and these magical little moments are what make life worth living. And it's so easy to get caught in the doom scroll. It's so easy to get sucked in with everything going on. And of course, it's like, there is a lot going on, and you know, I do feel strongly about needing to continue speaking up for, advocating, resisting, whatever you want to call it, and at the same time, not just living in that space always. You know what I mean? It's very hard to navigate right now, and I totally understand. But seeing those little snapshots was just so lovely. This one I think I'm the most proud of, as far as just how I decided to use the color. Like, instead of filling it in, I just use these to highlight the parts of the water, because it was so hard to capture how brilliant teal blue Lake Blood was. And just, I don't know, this, I was proud of how I decided to do the color. I don't know, Lake Blood was pure magic. I would go back. It felt like a fairy tale, and I'm proud of how I did that image. But that's really where I got to it in the art journal. I did not get a chance to sketch Budapest yet. I have reference photos that I think I want to sketch. I think it was, for me, I'm still very slow with the sketching, and so I felt like I needed these bigger swaths of time in order to do something, which I think moving forward, I don't want this to be something that I do just on trips. I want it to be something that's more of a practice to me, and that I don't have to feel like I need to dedicate, you know, hours a day doing it. I can just spend 5 to 15 minutes doing something and adding to something, you know what I mean? So it's a challenge for me too, but I feel excited. I feel excited about the progress I made throughout this journey of documenting via sketches. I feel like I improved and got more confident in how I was using the color and the pen. Yeah, I don't know. Tell me what you think. I think sometimes, especially when I was Pinteresting some inspo for how I wanted to do my art journal, everyone on there, of course, it's Pinterest, is putting up Pinterest-worthy, beautiful art, and these are really amazing artists, you know? But that doesn't mean that mine have to look like that in order to be considered good, or who cares if it's good or not. If it's something that I'm enjoying and that excites me and is lighting me up, I can do it for fun. Who cares? So thank you for letting me share that with you. And if you missed it, I got this journal cover from Documented Journey. She is a friend of mine. She's also in the Discord community, and she makes these covers, which are so beautiful. You can check out her shop. I'll put a link below. She also has a YouTube channel, and she does sketchbook tours. She has a Discord community where they do talk about sketching and art and stuff. And so I was very inspired by that. And so thank you, Brie. I have had so much fun with this. I will continue having fun with it. But next week, a lot is about to change. I am going to be starting my certification program, which means I'll have 6 hours of class a week. It's also mid-September, which means beanie season is kicking off. And I don't know if I shared with you, but I officially got accepted into this big market down in Boulder that I had applied for. It's supposed to be a really amazing market. I don't do markets that much. It's something that it's still kind of, I feel like a beginner at them. but I'm very excited. So I'm gonna have to kick my production into high gear, and obviously like beanie season's kicking off too, so I'll be doing shop updates on the website. I have 2 local shops and one of their sister stores in a different ski town that I sell my products at as well, so I'm really gonna have to start buckling down. And I'm also working with clients now, and I want to make sure I have the energy and space to really fully support them. So those are all of the different things that I'll have going on going into this next season. And after a big summer of travel and getting outside and doing a lot of things, I feel like this fall I really want to hunker down a little bit more and spend more days just sitting and knitting and catching up on vlogs and designing and doing my art journal and things like that. And there will still be camping and mountain biking. It's my favorite time of year to do it, honestly, and it's beautiful. And it's also the time when I get to take you out on these adventures to take product photos. So that's really fun. But I don't know what it's going to look like going into next week. I mean, I'll be vlogging the process, so you'll get to see what happens. But how has it been feeling for you? I feel like fall just naturally invites us to slow down a little bit more. Everyone's almost like refocusing their energy a little bit and ready to hunker down. I know we've had some rainy days here, which is nice. And I truly just welcome them. Like, I love fall and winter more than spring and summer. And I know that might be an unpopular opinion, but I have always been that way, and I truly am just thrilled and excited and giddy about this season, cozy season, you know? But that being said, because more people are coming back into routine, I'm starting back up our craft and hangs in the Discord community. We'll do them maybe once a month, and it's just like a video call in the Discord where you can come and just craft and chat and get to know each other. And it's just a way for us to hang out face to face, and the Discord community is free, so come join. And if you're interested in the Rewilding Trail Map, it's a little workbook that I put together, kind of like a trail map. You can do it in an hour or so, or longer if you want to, but it's a little guide with different worksheets and exercises in it to help you realign and reset for the fall. And I know these transition seasons can be really sticky for a lot of us, or feel like you're still scattered everywhere, and how do you realign and settle into this new season with some intention and goals? And the Rewilding Trail Map is one of the ways you can do it, so check it out below. And right now, if you want to dive deeper, or if you want some guidance throughout this process, or just bounce ideas off someone, or you have a project in mind or a goal that you want to set and you're not really sure how to get there, I have a handful of one-on-one deep dives that you can book. This is something where you purchase in my shop, and then we will schedule the meeting for when it works for you. Right now, my one-on-one client list is full, but I do have some space for one-off deep dives, and I would love to go through this rewilding journey with you. I know there's just a lot going on as well in the world, and things feel really heavy, and people are struggling, and rightly so. And I think we all need support, and not just support from anyone, but someone who actually knows what it's like to do what you do and what you're going through. And these are all practices that I take very seriously for my business. I've been through really rough burnout before, and I remember just thinking, I need to figure out a way to build my business, to grow my business in a way that I don't get here again. And so a lot of these strategies are just things that I've learned along the way and use, and that have worked to help me build something that's more aligned. And whether you have a business or not, the space is really meant for people who just want to live differently and create something that lets you live life on your own terms and whatever your dreams are, not what society says your dreams should be, or someone else is saying how you should run your business, or whatever, how you should live. It's, what do you want, and how do you start building that, or how do you get there? But thank you for being here. Thank you for watching till the end. If you are still here, put a comment below of what intention you're bringing into this fall. I would love to know. And yeah, a lot is about to change next week, so I can't wait to take you along the journey. But thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video.